12 years, not 12 days, not 12 months, 12 years of carrying something that did not change.
Let us be, do, and change together.
Welcome back to Be the Change. Today, we are not starting with a message, we are starting with a question. What do you do when you are doing everything right and something inside of you still hurts?
I think this is the part many people don't say out loud because it doesn't fit the image. You are praying, you are showing up, you are consistent, but inside you feel tired in a way that rest cannot fix, and you don't even know how to explain it because nothing is clearly wrong, but something is not right.
Yeah. And sometimes we don't call it pain. We call it pressure. We call it responsibility. We call it just a season. But deep inside, it's something we have not faced. There were moments in my journey where I kept moving, not because I was strong, but because I didn't know how to stop and look at what I was carrying. I prayed, but I avoided certain conversation with God. Not on purpose, but because I knew if I went there, something would have to change.
And this is where we have to be honest. Sometimes we don't need more discipline, we need healing. But healing asks for something we don't always want to give: honesty, openness, and surrender.
That's right. And it reminds me of a story in the Bible that has always challenged me: the woman with the issue of blood. We often focus on the miracle, but let's slow down the reality. 12 years, not 12 days, not 12 months, 12 years of carrying something that did not change. She kept going, she kept trying, she kept looking for answers. She went to doctors, she used what she had, but nothing worked.
And after years, you don't just carry the problem, you carry disappointment. You carry questions, you carry quiet thoughts like, maybe this will never change. And that kind of weight does something inside of you.
And then, one day, she hears that Jesus is passing by, and she makes a decision. But to understand this moment, we must understand her situation. In those times, a woman with an issue of blood was considered unclean. She was not supposed to be in public. She was not supposed to touch anyone. She was expected to stay away, to stay alone, separated. Now, for her to walk into a crowd was not just uncomfortable, it was dangerous. She could be rejected, she could be judged, she could be pushed away or even attacked.
And yet she steps into the crowd anyway, not because it was safe, not because it was accepted, but because staying where she was had become too painful. She reaches a point where staying the same is no longer an option.
And this is what we often miss. Faith is not always quiet confidence. Sometimes faith looks like desperation. Like doing something that doesn't feel safe, because staying the same is no longer possible.
She moves through the crowd, not knowing what will happen, not knowing how people will react, but knowing she cannot stay where she is.
And this is where the story becomes very real for us. Because maybe you are not in a physical crowd, but there is something in your life that feels just as exposing. A conversation you have been avoiding, a truth you've been hiding, a step you know you need to take, but you are afraid of how people will see you.
And deep down, you know you can't stay where you are, but stepping forward means risk. Your reputation, your comfort, your sense of control.
So here is the question. What is that step that feels uncomfortable, exposing, even risky? But deep down, you know you need to take it. She touches him, and immediately she's healed. Jesus stops and asks, "Who touched me?" She could have stayed hidden. She could have walked away quietly, but she doesn't.
She comes forward, and the Bible says she tells him the whole truth. Not part of it, not a safe version, the whole truth.
And that moment was not for Jesus, it was for her. Because healing is not only about change, it is about stepping out of hiding.
Many of us have touched God but are still hiding.
We say, "I'm fine, I trust you, I'm okay," but there are parts of us we have never fully opened.
What truth have you avoided?
What are you managing instead of surrendering? What are you carrying that you've learned to live with instead of allowing God to heal?
This week, we are not asking you to do more.
We are asking you to stop hiding. For one moment, we are asking you to be honest. Honest enough to stop hiding. And honest enough to tell God the whole truth. Not the safe version, not the strong version, but the real version.
Because healing begins when you step out of hiding, and healing grows when you stop holding things back from God.
You don't have to fix everything, but you have to come forward. Like that woman, she stepped out and she told the whole truth.
You don't have to carry it alone, but you do have to bring it into the light.
And maybe that is your next step. Not more effort, not more performance, but one moment of real honesty with God. No matter where you are.
Step out of hiding and come with your whole truth. And let us
Be, do, and change together.